Hey everyone, and thank you for checking out the Movie Bugle. My name is Justin, and I am the host of this channel. So on today's episode, I wanted to talk about the movie Antebellum, starring Janelle Monae. Now, this movie was one of the movies affected by coronavirus this year. Unfortunately, the original release date for this movie was actually April 24th. It was supposed to come out earlier this year. That's right around the time everything started to get shut down because of coronavirus. So Lionsgate, who distributed the movie, pulled the release date, and I think it was moved back to September to come out in theaters, and then they decided to release it on PVOD, which stands for Premiere Video on Demand. So it just came out this past weekend. So what does that mean? Basically, when movies are supposed to come out in theaters and now the studio has to put them straight to video on demand, how do they make that money back? So before we actually get into my review of the movie, I just want to talk about that really quick. There's been a lot of movies this year that have been released for a higher price online for rental. Just knowing myself and knowing a lot of people, what does that mean? How can movies charge so much? Like Antebellum online was $19.99 for a 48-hour rental. You get the chance to rent the movie for 48 hours for $19.99. That way you don't have to go to a theater, you don't have to go anywhere else to see. You can watch it from the safety and the comforts of your home. Is $19.99 too much? It depends. Now, for a business standpoint, I do understand the need to put a movie on premium on demand for a higher price point. Sometimes movie costs, upwards $50 million, $100 million, sometimes more than that to make a movie. And that's just for the production cost. That's not talking about, running its campaign for advertisements, which sometimes can be another $50 to $100 million. Putting it on just a streaming platform like Netflix or Amazon Prime, that's already included, or Disney Plus for no additional cost, or HBO Max where you just get the streaming for free. The studio's losing a lot of money for that, so they have to put it at a price point for people to rent. Now, what does that also mean? You're renting it now, and then they're gonna do another re-release later on for purchase, so that way they can try to make some of that money back. So Antebellum was put online for $19.99. You can buy it on iTunes, you can buy it on YouTube, you can buy it on Amazon Prime to rent it for 48 hours. So that's exactly what I did, and I had the chance to check this movie out. Now, this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm just gonna give you my quick thoughts about the movie. I do encourage everyone, if you like horror movies, well, this movie is not really a horror movie. It does have some suspense aspects to it, but I wouldn't classify this as a horror movie. Yes, there's violence involved. Yes, it may have like a few jump scares, and few is even pushing it. I wouldn't classify this as a horror movie. I would classify this as like a suspense or a thriller movie. But basically, the premise of the movie, Janelle Monae's character, her name is Veronica. She finds herself in a situation where she is transformed back into slavery days, picking cotton on the field, owned by slave masters, and she's trying to figure out what's happened, what's going on, how did she end up here, and then the story goes from there. I did like it. I did like the movie. I know that sometimes slave movies can be a little tiresome, especially for, the African-American community. But I feel like this movie, took it and was able to turn it in a way which still made it a little bit enjoyable to watch. There was the elements of the lynching and other things like that in there that I can understand why it makes some people feel a little bit uncomfortable. But I don't think it was too much where it sort of overtook the movie. There is some progression in the movie that, like I said, this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone, because I do want people to go out and watch it. There is some progressions that happen in the movie that gets you hyped a little bit, oh, okay, what's going on here, and just trying to figure everything out. Definitely check out Antebellum. Like I said, it is starring Janelle Monae. You can rent it online. I rented it on iTunes. You can also rent it available on YouTube. You can also rent it, I believe, on Amazon Prime. And if you have had the chance to see this movie, what did you think of the movie? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Make sure you leave your comments and thoughts down below. And as always, be sure to check out the Movie Bugle for all the latest news and movies, reviews, and updates to come. And until then, well, I'll see you guys soon.